Hey guys, welcome back to Beaneater Buzz. Jordan Hunt back here with Colleen McGuire again. We've got our good friend Michael Kasper on as a guest host this week.
Special guest.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. Braves just pulled off a sweep of the Philadelphia Phillies. It's a good feeling. The Phillies have kind of been a pain in our ass this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Stott 3-run homer to beat us off of AJ Mentor. And then, we ended up winning this game, but like Kenley blowing the save with the Harper home run early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
They've just been kind of that team that's just given us
I guess we were 6-6 coming into this series.
Right. Yeah.
So
That's
now
what I was
I'd
about to say. It's not quite like the Mets, but at the same time, it hasn't been fun.
For sure.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I love beating the Phillies, man.
Oh,
Sweeping
I
them, even
love
sweeter.
beating the Phillies. Yeah, it's great. It's great. I remember. Yeah, go ahead. What's that?
So I was going to say that it looks like the Pirates were going to help us out because they tied it back up, and now the Mets have pulled away and it's 7-3. So it looks
I was
like
about to say last time I saw.
I was like, what? They tied up again?
Yeah, I was about to say last time I saw they had the bases
Oh no, they
loaded.
tied it up at 3.
I was like, no
Yeah.
way. They were up 3 last time I checked. That's crazy.
So that's it is what it is. Like my wife said just a minute ago, like right before I came in here to do this, she was like, "That must be really annoying that every time you guys win, the Mets win." And I was like, it is, but at the same time, like for the Braves, literally, there's you have to have one thing in mind if you're the Braves right now: keep winning games. Because if we keep winning
for
games,
the Mets fans, it's the same way. I see them
exactly
this weekend. They're like, "Please, can the Braves lose?" Like, so they don't feel comfortable either.
Dude, we're so much more chill about this than they are. They are losing their minds. They can't take this shit. And I had a little moment there like a week ago where I was like, just shut it off for a week, and that lasted less than 24 hours.
That's right. You did say that.
And I told Colleen, I was like, I'm not going to tweet. And I was like, I deleted
Twitter.
your
account or deactivated
I did.
your account.
I deleted Twitter and everything. And then like I texted Colleen. I was like, why the fuck is Michael bunting? She's like, oh, I see. You're not sticking to your guns on this. So I get it. Like, especially for Mets fans, that is a tortured existence. And they're just, I would love to see the Mets fans happy and win a World Series, but I want it to happen in a season that the Braves lose 100 games.
Yeah.
So
can it wait, please?
Yeah, like 2015 would have been a great year to get it done. They didn't. Sorry.
They did not.
That's it. So
it's hard seeing any fan base suffer that much. Like you want, and then of course you get to know some good Mets fans.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a couple I've figured out, but it's like I don't want them to beat us when we're almost at 100
at the expense
wins
of the Braves is essentially what it
exactly.
is.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. One of these two teams is going to win 97 plus games and not win the division.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
look
crazy.
at the Dodgers last year.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I don't feel sorry for the Mets when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like I definitely didn't feel sorry for the Dodgers. Like, and let me be clear before somebody tries to like cut, paste, like whatever. Like, look at this Mets Twitter. Fuck you guys. I'm not saying that the Braves are going to win the division. I'm saying if it happens, I don't feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Sorry. But I don't.
Yeah.
Because
they had the 10.5 game lead, and they
did.
blew it.
And then we came to within a half game. Then they brought it back to 7 games, and now we're so. That would be pretty brutal for them to have lost 10.5 games and then like 7 or 6.5, whatever it was, if they don't win this division.
Yeah, what was
it? Since we did officially go half a game up, they did officially blow that 10.5.
Yeah, we were talking about
regardless of what happens for the rest of the year.
Officially
blown that lead.
It's
true.
Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and get the.
True indeed.
I take so long when I do this. I'm so sorry because I want to keep the conversation going, but I also get so distracted. So let me get this rolling.
I can retweet it so my 14 followers know it's happening.
Hey, that's fine. That's crazy. You don't really only have 14 followers, do you?
No.
I was going to say,
like
what?
500.
I love how people always like take your like picture and they're like, "Look at this guy." And I'm like,
"That's
why
my
does it matter, bro?"
favorite
Like,
response.
have you noticed that your profile picture is a picture of Francisco Lindor. Like nobody knows what you look like, man.
Yeah, at least I'm brave enough to put my face on it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not. I mean, not on Beaneater Buzz. I mean, on my own account, but I only have like 100 followers or something there. I'll tag you guys so you can retweet it.
Okay.
White Claw time?
Oh, yeah.
I wish.
Our non-official
Suck
sponsor.
it through a straw.
Actually, totally not our sponsor at all.
I can't do it. I mean, did you see my post about what's going on with my tooth? Did you see that, Michael?
Yeah. Something
You acted like you saw. Okay, so I went and got a tooth pulled this week. And so this tooth was like, it was a tooth I already had a root canal on. So I just had a cap over it. And somehow it got some bacteria in there or whatever. Well, the tooth ended up decaying. And I didn't know that. And it apparently happened a long time ago.
Ooh.
So long ago that my gums grew over the tooth underneath.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
So it was just like a little post that was holding the cap on. So they break the cap off and they have to like literally like dig my gums open to get the roots out and get the tooth out.
Was it like infected and stuff?
No.
That's so weird.
No. But they left one of the roots in and they didn't see it. So my mouth is like really, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of puffy on this side. And it's like, it's killing me. I'm like hitting it with Orajel every 5 minutes. And like, it's cut my tongue, cut my gums. Like,
ugh.
So, yeah. So I'm kind
You're
of
not out here putting down White Claws? What's the deal?
I put one down last night and it immediately hurt afterwards.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, didn't you have one last night?
That shit hurt so bad. I was like,
You
I can't
paid
do
for
this
it,
again.
essentially.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
All right.
So what's our magic number for a playoff spot? It's got to be like 5 or 6, right?
It was 6.
6 today.
And
And
we
the Brewers are
won,
gonna lose.
and the Brewers lost.
Gonna lose.
Brewers are going to, well, they haven't lost yet, but they're going to lose. So now it's down to 4, I guess, right?
True.
Yeah, that's
It
right.
has to be 4, yeah. So we could, what is that? Oh, you posted some stuff about the pitch clock and stuff.
Oh yeah. That's the
link?
ESPN summary of all the rules.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. So so just jumping into a few things that we should probably talk about. Ozzie Albies.
Fucking sucks, man.
I mean, dude,
What the hell?
that was heartbreaking. I was just like, when I saw I thought it was fake. I thought somebody was fucking with us. And
Really?
like posting. Yeah, I mean, like, you know how people are.
Because it came so fast too. It was like 15
Yeah, it
minutes after
was
we left the game.
I was shocked when I got a Braves notification. I was like, nobody did anything. You know what? What's the notification for?
Right.
And I was just
then
like one
it
of
was
those, just like, are you kidding me? Just like
yeah.
heart drop.
It's 13
And
innings.
like of all people, dude, like Ozzie doesn't deserve that.
Mm-mm.
I mean, he's just like the nicest guy ever.
Mm-hmm.
He's worked his ass off to get back.
Mm-hmm.
And like, honestly, there was questions like when he first broke his foot, like, is he done for the season?
Mm-hmm.
So like the fact that he even got back and was healthy and like all that stuff, like it was awesome. And clearly it was having an effect on Ronald, like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ronald still ended up with a, double today and stuff, but it just, I don't know.
And seeing the way he interacts with Dansby and almost said Freddie and Matt, and like he's just
Freddie.
he's just so important to have out there, and so to lose him after 13 innings is awful.
And it's like I know he went to the
that's
IL,
a
but
shit way to look at it right there.
Is he
Yeah,
is he
it
allowed
kinda
to be in the dugout?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah,
I
I
hope
think
so.
so.
I mean, it's not the foot or anything. I'm assuming he could just, with his finger wrapped, be in the dugout, which is a big deal too.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's with the team. Luke Jackson's been in the dugout all season.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. Yeah,
yeah, that's right.
So that's a big thing too to have.
He's not at every game, but like here and there, you'll see him chilling in the dugout. which is cool. I mean, I'm sure that Luke is one of those guys that the bullpen is just, not only just as a player, we're definitely missing Luke Jackson, but as a person, they're probably missing him just as much.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, he's a great guy. So, yeah. So, our second baseman again is going to be Vaughn Grissom.
It's the cursed position. Last year was catcher. This year it's second base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really is.
But that's not a bad second option. I mean, that's
no. I mean, that's what's kind of crazy.
He's been he's been struggling a little bit lately.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he did have a hit today, so that's good. I don't know. The one thing I like about Vaughn Grissom is that kid can work a count. Like, it's extremely impressive because, like, you see a lot. Like you see with Harris, like he's kind of a free swinger at times.
Yeah.
And he'll have those at bats that you're just like
those breaking balls, and you're just like, oh,
what the fuck happened, dude? Like you just swung at the same slider 3 times in a row, and Grissom doesn't do that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're right.
They're not throwing you a fastball in some of these
Harris
situations.
Does that all the time. But I mean, that's part of the learning process, though. I mean, his. I know early on, Harris had a horrendous walk rate.
Oh yeah, it was awful.
But it has gotten better. I have not looked it up recently. Let's see here. Well, Michael. Damn. I know, like last month it went up like doubled.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. I don't think he's walked a whole lot this month though. Let's see. That's it. Right here. Percentage. Okay, so he literally has not walked in September even one time.
This is Grissom or Harris?
Harris.
Oh, goodness.
So, yeah, he's a 0.0% walk rate in September.
Oh, my gosh.
But his strikeout rate is down to 20% from 26%. In 26.8% in July, 26.7% in August, down to 20%.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Month. I mean, that's pretty good. So,
and he's not been a bad hitter during that stretch either. It's not like he came in as a terrible hitter, and these are. It's like he came in as a good hitter, and he's making those incremental improvements that he needs to make. Yeah,
half the reason he's not walking is because he's swinging the bat.
Yeah,
and
I mean, play a lot.
Yeah, he's doing just fine. I don't have anything to complain about with Michael Harris.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
dude,
he nearly robbed that home run today. Are you kidding?
We were talking about that just a few minutes ago. If he would have robbed that home run, it would have been like we would have watched that for years.
Yeah, it would have been the greatest play. It's like the Andrew Jones like diving basket catch that he made. I don't know when, but it's that same caliber.
Are you talking about the one in Montreal or?
I think so. I don't know. That sounds right,
dude. Yeah. Andrew Jones was so good. There was the play where he like jumped up on the wall and made the basket catch. That's a crazy play.
Yeah,
and
I think that's one of.
I mean, we've not had anybody doing that type of stuff. And not
even just that it like grazed off his glove, that he got there to the wall and timed his jump and was like up over the that's incredible.
His
so he's probably going to rob some home runs here and there, like because he can, judge the fly ball so well that he's like, can get there. So the ones that are just go over the wall,
Yeah, that's. I thought he had it. I thought he was going to get it personally. But
did you see the guy on Twitter who was like, "How did he not catch that?
How did he not catch that?" Like, what? No, I did not.
I don't think he was trolling either. I'm pretty sure he was
not supposed to catch that. Nobody's supposed to catch that.
Nobody's supposed to get to that ball. That's why there's a fence there, and that's why they award you 4 bases.
That's why it's called a run when you.
Yeah.
It's called a home run for a reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not super worried about Grissom. I think he'll be fine. His defense is a little bit worrisome at times.
Yeah, I think that's where you miss Ozzie.
Yeah, because
the bat, it wasn't like Ozzie was lighting the world on fire with his bat. Some of Ozzie's swings, you're just like, Ozzie, what in the? How do you not have any plate discipline? I swear he just was like golfing. It's so funny the way
he took a 4-pitch walk last night. That cracked me up. I was like,
that's why I was joking. Him and Travis walked in the same inning.
I saw that.
How are you?
Do that?
How are you walking both of them in the same inning?
It's like there was a moment earlier this season where I want to say Adam Duvall got walked with the bases loaded or something. The bases were loaded. And Adam Duvall, or no, excuse me, I don't know if the bases were loaded, but it was Adam Duvall, and he took a 4-pitch walk. Mm-hmm. And I was like, do you know how hard it is to walk Adam Duvall? Like, it's really, we have a really couple hard. Guys here just like, what are you doing?
Eddie's another really one. Like, how are you walking? If you're walking any of these guys.
Yeah, we've got some free swingers up there. And I would like, and there are people who complain about our walk rate. And I'm like, this same approach won a World Series last year, so I'm not going to be super, down on it.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, there's some days that I'm frustrated. I'm like, oh, my God, just stop. Yeah. This is the first swing.
It's the days where you're generating no offense at all.
It's okay to take a pitch sometimes, but, yeah.
But then they go out and they beat guys like Sandy Alcantara and Jacob deGrom, and you're like, well, maybe they're not that bad.
One of those games in Citi Field a month or two ago where they put 4 runs in each of the first 2 innings on Walker, I think. I mean, they were just slugging.
And
the
Walker had been really good.
Yeah. Oh, the game at Citi Field?
Yeah. I think it was 8 runs, wasn't it?
It was 8. I remember Eddie hit a home run.
It was 4 runs
in the first inning.
In each of the first 2 innings.
The only game we won in that series.
Yeah, that was. Dude. Oh, that was the 5-game series, right?
Yeah.
Or was that? Yeah.
And that was and the Mets nearly came back. Remember, they were threatening. It was ended up being
because Ian Anderson had a fucking 8-run lead and still couldn't throw strikes. It was like, dude,
I think Kenley still had to come in.
Just throw.
Kenley and Iglesias both pitched in that game.
Yeah, it was 9-6 or something like that.
I remember watching it and being like, Ian, I don't care if you only throw fastballs. You're going to be more successful than walking
nibbling up 8-0.
Yeah.
Oh. That was so aggravating. And apparently, did you guys know that he got injured?
I did.
Yeah, he's.
I did not know that.
I read that somewhere. I don't remember when or where. Probably Dave O'Brien. So you're blocked by DOB, Jordan. So you probably missed that one.
Oh no! Damn.
But it seems like all these AAA injuries are just coming out of nowhere.
DOB. Who else was it got injured?
Huascar Ynoa. He got Tommy
John, what the hell?
That came out of nowhere.
Anything about that? And then
the
Braves
tweeted
Huascar Ynoa surgery out for the year.
Yeah, and the way they said it was like
we knew that he was injured.
Yeah.
He underwent successful surgery. For what?
My problem with it was they were
like the follow-up announcement.
Yeah.
Well, my thing that was funny was the way they said it. They were like, Huascar Ynoa underwent successful surgery on his UCL today. Mm-hmm. And I was like,
so Tommy John?
Tommy John? I was like, are you trying to beat around the bush on Tommy John surgery here?
Very
just
weird.
Say it.
That sucks though. I feel like he hasn't been the same since he punched that damn bench.
Mm-mm. He hasn't been.
He was shaping up to have such a good season, and
he was, but also the batted ball profile was pretty bad.
Yeah,
he was having a lot of luck. Basically, he was doing what Spencer Strider's doing, but he was throwing 95 and 96. Yeah, but with a lot of luck. He wasn't actually
Spencer's better than his ERA, I think, at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's another thing. Strider got to 200 strikeouts today.
Dude, so he's a 2.72 ERA. His FIP is 1.75.
That's insane.
It's the lowest FIP in baseball.
He's at 4.8 WAR.
But I was told FIP doesn't mean anything the other day. So I just tagged Mike Petriello and said, "Hey, Mike, does FIP mean things?" And he said, "Yeah, that's an excellent stat." I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. All right,
Does FIP mean things?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, somebody told me
that's...
FIP is a terrible way to measure pitchers, and he was like, "No, that's wrong." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I thought." Okay.
I'm just it's absurd. It's like keeps describing it. That's the only word to describe what he's doing. It's absurd.
Yeah, he's potentially a better Cy Young candidate than Fried this year.
Like he's going to get votes for the Cy Young.
Yeah.
Look,
I don't care if it's down all the way down.
I'm concerned about
until May.
I'm concerned about who might hear this, but he might be a better Cy Young candidate than Sandy Alcantara.
Like, I just don't know how you look at that, because you're right, Michael. He didn't start until the end of June in that Arizona series. That's the first time he started a game, end of May.
Had he been starting the whole season?
Like, so I don't know how you can look at his numbers. Like, now I'm going to pull up Sandy Alcantara. Of course, Sandy Alcantara threw a complete game today.
Nobody look up my old Spencer Strider tweets, because I was definitely against him becoming a starter.
Yeah.
I was like, at the deadline, I was like, have him go back to the bullpen down the stretch and go get a start.
Yeah. But
I own up to the shit that I said. I'm like, you know what?
Oh, yeah, I do too. Like, I
take it back when I said it.
I literally said, hey, Spencer Strider shouldn't be a starter because his walk rate is really high. And if you look at his walk rate as a reliever, it was. And then he became a starter and something changed. I don't know what changed, actually. Maybe it was just he felt more comfortable because he had always been a starter.
Yeah.
And coming out of the bullpen is a little bit different. But I don't know, dude. Spencer Strider is just...
So Sandy Alcantara, ERA 2.43. FIP 3.10.
I was about to say it's over 3.
Wow.
He and Spencer now have the same Fangraphs WAR of 4.8. Well, I guess that's, unless that has been updated, they both pitched today. But even still, I mean, to be that close to him.
Yeah, but I mean, both of them were really good today.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. So I'm sure it's about
to have that same WAR and so many fewer innings.
Yeah, that's what's insane about it.
Now, of course, there's also the argument that many innings is inherently valuable.
Well,
just the fact that he's done so many more innings is of great value. But
did you guys see? Well, I'm sure you saw the post I made about Spencer having an F4 that was almost equal to that of Alcantara.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I think they're equal now.
Oh, you posted? I didn't see that.
Yeah, this was last week. It pissed a lot of Mets fans off.
I bet.
Mets fans?
Mets fans.
They seem to like to find ways to. I'm not saying that Braves fans are innocent of that, but
they
it's
just like showed up, and I was like,
"You're just like, why are you mad?"
That's why I was
pointing
like,
out
dude,
facts.
like, I didn't say Jacob deGrom. I said Sandy Alcantara. Like, why are you mad? Yeah, but he's got strikeouts. Don't mean that much. What? That's the best out you can get.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was crazy, dude. They were like, the only reason he's got such a high FIP or he's got such a high F4 is because he's got such a low FIP, and FIP is a flawed stat. And I was like,
so is earned run average.
So this was when I was like, at Mike Petriello, hey, is FIP a flawed stat? And he's like, no, not at all. And I told him why. And he was like, well, I mean, if you're trying to argue that Strider should be Cy Young, no. And I was like, that's not what I'm arguing. Mm-hmm. But I am saying that he's got almost an equal F4 in almost 100 less innings or fewer innings. Mm-hmm. Somebody called me out on that. I said 75 less innings. And they were like, fewer.
Fewer. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. I tweeted this in a
1,000 parties.
In a haste, okay? Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. Strider's pretty damn good. So, another 10 strikeout game.
That's what's so crazy is like, so he walked 3, and like, it's like the second inning, he's at like 50 pitches through like 1 1/3. You're just like, we need you to go length because a lot of good pitchers pitched yesterday. Like, it's going to be Chavez and Stevens. Like, we need you to go. And then he just like turns it on, and a like not great outing for him is like 8, 9, 10 strikeouts, 6 innings.
It was right in the middle of the third inning that he just suddenly found his command again.
Yeah, and he did that in Oakland. It's happened a lot. Giants game too. Like, it's like he seems to find it after a couple innings, struggling with it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you have pitchers like saying Ian Anderson, right? Ian Anderson, it wasn't rare for him to only go 5 innings. Mm-hmm. It was more rare for him to go 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But guys like Strider and Fried, and even Morton to an extent, even though Morton's been kind of iffy all year, if they're not going 6 innings,
yeah,
people almost give them shit for it. And I'm like,
mm-hmm.
It's like that shit happens. Jake DeGrom, he went 6 innings today. In the 6th inning, he gave up a 3-run homer to O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah. He ultimately only went 5.
And people, is that all he did was go 5?
Oh, yeah.
There was no outs in the 6th.
Oh, I didn't know he came out.
He was at 100 pitches. Or, I guess at that point, he was at 101 pitches. So
yeah, and somebody was like
5 plus.
Sal, of course. Sal Licata or Licata, however the fuck you say his name. He's like, I'm just going to say it I know he's historically good, and I know how many strikeouts he had today, but that wasn't good enough. Dude struck out 13 in 5 innings.
In 5.
How are you mad about one mistake? Please
yeah.
come to the Braves. And I'm sure if they end up losing that game, it would have been the same thing as last time.
Did you see the swing?
Myself. It was under. It was not even in the strike zone that pitch.
I don't know
how slider
he hit
out of the zone.
It's just O'Neal Cruz is a freak.
Yeah, well, that's why I said my two best
other,
friends are Mets fans, and we have our group chat, and they were like, "Oh, damn it, Mets." And I was like, "O'Neal Cruz is so good," and then my one friend was like, "He's an unbelievable." There's certain guys that you're just like, you know what? It's not like us when we give up a home run to the 9-hole hitting backup catcher. When you're like, "Gee, really?" Certain guys, you're like, "All right, he's good. He's good." I mean, what are you gonna do?
It's like today, after Michael didn't rob that homer, he went in the dugout and apologized to Strider because he didn't rob the homer. And Strider's like, dude, I mean, you almost made one of the best catches of all time, and you're upset.
That'd have been on highlight reels
forever.
Forget it.
I was talking to Michael about that before you came on. That would have kept the potential no-hitter intact.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, with our bullpen, 3 innings of no-hit ball, that's not unheard of. I mean, I don't think
that was what was so crazy today. Is that it was a no-hitter at that point.
Homer, I know that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He'd allowed 5 base runners to that point. 4 walks in the air by Riley.
The walks. Yep.
Yeah.
And
that was
a
huge too.
Choice, I think that everyone's
Riley made that error, and Spence looked at him and he was like, I got you, and strikes out 3 in a row, and it was like, wow.
That's
he didn't throw up his hands
shit.
in disgust or something.
I'm just this rookie was like, don't worry, I got you, and strikes out the side. What?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's absurd. Craziness. Crazy.
I love watching.
You don't always even see guys like Garrett Cole react that well to an error. I mean, you'll see them give looks of disgust towards the fielders once in a while.
You should have
so if we're trying to just shake that off, strike out 3 is
that's huge.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, I tell people all the time, Spencer Strider, as a pitcher, physically, what he does reminds me of Jacob deGrom. 99, 100, 101, 102, boom on the black. That's deGrom, nasty slider to go with it. deGrom,
And didn't he say he tried to model his delivery?
He did. He tried to model his mechanics after deGrom. And then Pitching Ninja posted a side-by-side, and it's, impeccable how close they are. It's whoa, what the hell? They start off differently. But once they get into their mechanics, you can tell it's wow. He didn't just model his mechanics. He copied his mechanics perfectly.
Yeah.
But no, the thing with Strider is physically what he's capable of doing reminds me of deGrom. Mentally, he reminds me of Mike Soroka. The way he's just okay, well,
I can control what I can control. Yeah.
Yeah, I can control what I can control. That's already happened.
Yeah.
So I've just got to move past it. And that's just so Mike Soroka. And God, it makes me miss Mike Soroka so much. Apparently he's getting lit up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Triple A. He's been struggling.
But I have to assume that's halfway because he's working on pitches, right? like he's not just down there like trying.
Yeah, I don't. I honestly don't know.
Maybe he is to an extent, but like the guy hasn't pitched in 2 years,
right?
So like,
and like there was like comments from people that were like, "Oh yeah, he's done. He's and I'm like, this dude came back from 2 Achilles injuries and is just trying to get his stuff like working again." And people are like, "Oh, I guess that's what's done. It's a wash." It's like, no.
That's crazy. That's insane. Like it. Okay, if he were Chris Sale, who relies on throwing 97 with a disgusting wipeout slider. Okay, yeah, like if you're struggling down there and like you're not quite putting all that together, then yeah, you do question it because that's a power pitcher, and you have to rely on your physical mechanics for a power pitcher.
Yeah.
That's why Strider and DeGrom are able to throw 101, 102. But Mike Soroka's not that guy.
Yeah. True.
Like, if he can do what he's always done and top out at 94, 95, he's going to be successful. Like, it's just a matter of getting the pitches back. So,
I can't
just
imagine
the fact
how
that
many
he's
dugout
doing it.
TVs Chris Sale would have destroyed if he had the outing that Soroka just had.
Well, I didn't see how bad
it was. In AAA when he was like on rehab, he destroyed something.
He did. He destroyed,
he destroyed a couple TVs.
Their clubhouse. Like, and like, all these rookies rookies, all these like AAA players, or was it rookie ball? I think it was maybe rookie
I think it was AAA.
Okay, well, all these minor leaguers are looking at him like, what the hell? Like,
yeah, is this how we react?
Like, that's not you, dude. That's not the example you set. Like down there, like that's just crazy. And I've always liked Chris Sale, but he's done some things, and I'm just like, are you good, dude?
Yeah, he's one of those bad clubhouse guys.
Like, you remember when he cut up his jersey because he didn't like the?
Yeah,
I was like,
he cut up everyone's jerseys, not just.
You don't remember that, Colleen?
No.
Yeah,
when he was 2015 White Sox.
White Sox. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he cut up the whole team's jerseys.
They were throwback jerseys. He got mad because he had to wear them on his start day, and he didn't like those jerseys. So he took scissors and was cutting people's jerseys.
That's like a temper tantrum, like, buddy.
Yeah, dude.
It's like completely mentally unhinged.
Like when people use the term clubhouse cancer.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Someone told me that Jesus Aguilar was a club cancer.
I saw that one time. I remember that. I'm like, him?
Like, that's the nicest guy in baseball.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wanted him when the Marlins dropped him. I was like, please pick him up.
I did too. Just for the Pablo Sandoval factor. Like, just
I just want that.
I don't
I know there wasn't a place for him, but I was like, well, make a place.
Could you imagine him and Heredia at the end of the dugout after every home run? It would be insane. Like the dream died.
The best guys ever.
He went to the O's. The dream died.
Well, he went to the O's, and the O's playoff hopes died. So maybe he is the clubhouse cancer.
Oh no! Yes, that's very true.
Yeah. Well, that's because they got swept and they lost that first game to the Blue Jays, and then like the next day they got swept in a doubleheader, and it was like
that's
so
right.
In 48 hours they just completely destroyed.
Yeah, it seems like that the teams in the AL are set kind of.
They're set,
not who's where and
yeah.
But I guess the AL Centrals, but I think the Guardians seem like they're kind of taking off with it. So I don't know.
Yeah, they pulled ahead a bit.
That was a wild game last night.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Weird and
I thought it was going to keep
somebody
going.
just win this game.
I thought it was going to keep going after that crazy play that Gio Urshela made it third. Like just snagged that little
that was wild.
And just reached down and tagged the runner. I was like, what the fuck?
That's just purely reactionary.
Yeah, and then they just were like, no.
Booted the ground ball at short.
We're done with it. Dude, that looked like he did it on purpose, I thought. I was like, he might have been just done with this game.
It was a doubleheader. I can't imagine they had any pitchers left.
Dude, yeah. Doubleheader.
They put in like a rookie.
They played 24 innings yesterday.
That's crazy.
They were 3 innings shy of a
I didn't even check who did they play earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Or
sure
are they playing?
did.
I'm just curious.
I hope for their sake they didn't. I mean,
MLB was like, you guys can have the day off.
They did. It was the Twins won actually. So
wow, look at that.
Oh, wow.
3-0 Twins.
Wow.
So the White Sox are 3.5 games back in that division. They've got a shot.
I think
Mariners are only 14.5 back. You think they could pull it off?
I didn't realize they were that far back.
Yeah, that's
they're
the
good,
Astros have just been
so
really
good.
quietly.
That's like with the Padres. It's like the Dodgers are just so
Padres
good.
are like 20 games back, and they're a postseason team.
Yeah,
that's just crazy, dude. Like,
what's crazy is
that the Padres
are about to win. The Padres and Phillies are about to flip spots in the wild card.
Oh, really?
Good.
Oh, wow.
If they hold on and win.
Let's go, Brewers. Look,
Brewers already lost.
Yeah, but
I thought what you were going to say was crazy.
Play the Mets this week.
Oh, I'm a huge Brewers guy now. Let me
so I'm good.
Love the Brewers. Go Brewers.
Yeah, that Yankees game is over, so we can root for the Brewers.
Yeah, Yankees game is over. Let's go Brewers.
I'm actually glad they lost that game.
Yeah.
Because now they're not riding a winning streak going in to New York.
That's how I felt with the Mariners.
That's how I always feel about it.
But,
I'm like, I don't like these winning streaks.
Yeah.
And
Fire's been lit.
Yeah. So now, I mean, I'd still like this sweep.
Yeah.
Or
so tomorrow's Scherzer and Burns. That'll be interesting.
I know.
I wish it was not at this. I wish they didn't pitch on the same day because I feel like I want it to be Burns and they're like.
Yeah, but if there's
all
anybody
their starters are pretty good, but like Burns,
if there's
Walker
anybody who
Burns
can beat Scherzer,
it's
Burns, and maybe Scherzer will be a little bit rusty, right? Like
maybe
he's been out for a minute. I don't know.
I thought Colleen, the thing you were going to say that was crazy about the Padres was how badly that trade's gone for them.
Oh yeah,
and it wasn't a bad trade, but I saw the tweet, and this was a couple days ago. So this was before. I think this was 2 days ago. So this is before Grossman's last 2 games where he's been really helpful. But Grossman has 0.4 Fangraphs WAR in his time with the Braves.
I saw that the other day.
And Soto, Bell, and then I don't know if Hader was included, but it's at least Soto and Bell. I
think it was Soto, Bell, Hader, and Drury.
Yeah, that's what it was. Soto, Bell,
together.
Hader, and Drury have had 0.2.
Yeah.
FWAR.
Although Hader brought that down a little bit because he kind of
Well, but if you take Hader out of it,
Juan Soto's been really bad,
like historically bad,
like
one
the
of the worst
month of his career.
And what's kind of I forget who it was that said this to me, and like after the Nationals had taken 2 or 3 from the Mets, like how they had they have a lot of young guys right now who can hit on the Nationals, like those young rookies, and like someone said to me like. Trading Soto actually like jump started their rebuild, and they actually, if they get some pitching, are going to be pretty good. Like they have some guys who can hit and beat you right now, and it's like
they're
I couldn't believe they traded Soto, but part of me now is like maybe that was they got all these guys back, and somehow the Padres just can't make a trade.
A lot of Nationals fans are still upset about it, but
I get that. I understand.
In reality, like it's like. You weren't going to keep Soto. He was set on leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the fact that they got as much out of him as they could, like I'd be proud of him. I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah. Like when we traded Jason Hayward for Shelby Miller, I was like, let's go. That's a good one. I like Shelby Miller. He's good. And
Shelby Miller was like the one highlight of the 2015 season.
What a name. We're going to talk about Shelby Miller like 20 years from now, and people are gonna be like, you remember that time that he was like almost a Cy Young winner, and then he just like never did anything again, and the Braves got like a World Series out of him. Like, I mean, if you think about it, we kind of did. I mean, that's crazy.
But yeah, Juan Soto himself has been worth 0.2 Fangraphs WAR.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Since coming to Padres.
So that's probably Hader bringing that down.
He probably got all that today when he hit a home run.
Yeah, I guess in the month of September prior to today.
So did Grossman.
Oh, he did do anything?
No, he did.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I forgot about Grossman homer today. Soto's batting 111 in the month of September. 432 OPS. He's got
a 432 OPS.
432 OPS.
Not even just like
Soto?
Oh my God.
Soto, yeah. He's got 11 walks. He's got 5 hits, one of which is a double, and the other 4 are singles. So no homers in the month of September for Soto.
Well, he hit one today.
And what's so crazy about it is
good for him.
On the Nationals, it's like, why was anyone pitching to him at all? Because he had nobody behind him. I guess sometimes he had Bell, but like, that's a pretty good lineup for the Padres. And the fact he's not hitting home runs is interesting. It's like, how are they pitching to him? I don't know. That's really weird.
And it's not like he went from a bad division to a really good division or something like that. He went from
he was facing good
really
pitchers
good
in the
NL
NL
East to the really good NL West.
Padres.
He was in the same division as Fried, Alcantara. Yeah,
that's all that it adds. I mean, all these crazy trades. The Adam Frazier trade, like when they made that trade, it was like, why?
Oh yeah,
and he sucked.
Yeah, and he always killed the Braves. Like
always. And then they traded him to Seattle, and he's been really good with Seattle. Like I mean, not like
has he been really good? I think he's been all right. I know a lot of
he's been a lot better. He's been a lot better than he was with the Padres. And maybe that's another pitching adjustment. Maybe that's all it is. But I don't know. They brought in like that. I remember that first game after the trade deadline for the Padres. Drury hits a grand slam in the first inning, and it was just like, holy shit. They have built something fucking crazy.
Yep.
And after that,
it just off the tracks.
It was just one game that they looked like they're going to win the World Series. Like straight up. They're going to come back. They're going to climb back from 12 games down. They're going to catch the Dodgers. And then I think they've won like 3 games out of 12 against the Dodgers or something like that.
Yeah, they still can't beat the Dodgers.
And so crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. That's another fan base. That's got to suck to be a Padres fan.
Oh, dude, and they've got a great pitching staff.
Yeah,
their rotation is stacked.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like every time I turn on a Padres game, their pitcher's going 6 innings again, and they're giving up 2 runs or less, and it's like, okay. What'd their offense do? Nothing. They didn't do anything. They got Juan Soto. They got Josh Bell. They got Manny Machado.
Yeah, they've been losing a lot of games.
Runs. It's baffling.
Yeah, I don't know who in the wild card. I don't know who I'd rather face. I feel like with the Phillies, there's so much familiarity, which can hurt you. But you know what you're getting, I guess. But then it's the Padres. I think we could beat any team. I'm just what's the best case scenario in terms of the matchup?
Padres offense goes off, it's over.
Yeah.
If they get going, whereas with the Phillies, it's Schwarber, Harper.
Yeah, you know what you're getting with the Phillies.
I don't know how long Castellanos is out, but it's not. It's not the Padres. So
he's also not been that good.
That's true. Yeah, he's been a massive defensive liability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the bad defense every day.
If you can imagine. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll say this. When it comes to postseason, we all look at pitching, right? That's the first thing we look at. Who does this team have? Like when we look at the Mets, DeGrom, Scherzer. If we end up winning the division, whoever has to face the Mets in a wild card series, they might as well just not even show up because they're going to have to go into New York.
What's funny to me is because I always think about every wild scenario. The Phillies have been absolutely dreadful against the Mets this year. Just can't beat them.
It would be hilarious.
In my head, what's going to happen is if they meet them in the postseason, the Phillies sweep them out in a wild card series because that's baseball, and then the Phillies go on to the DL. That's what I can totally see happening.
Yeah,
because nothing that happens in the regular season matters in the postseason. So I can totally see them beating them in the postseason.
That's where I was going with it, though.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry, I stole your thunder.
So, no. I like where you went with it, but that's what I'm saying is. When I look at the Padres and the Phillies, right? Whose top 2 scares me the most? And it's the Phillies because Zach Wheeler scares me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nola and Wheeler versus
It'd probably
Manaea?
be Darvish.
Darvish.
Oh, Darvish. Yeah, that's right.
Darvish and Musgrove. So, like, Darvish is one that we can't seem to beat for whatever reason. Like, that dude just owns us. But Musgrove, like, he's kind of, he's a little bit feeble at times.
He hasn't been as good of late as he was to start the season.
He's been pretty bad the last few weeks. So you have to look at that, and, like, I would almost say, I want to face the Padres. Because, I mean, they got to fly across the country, and
that's true, yeah.
Then they got to come into Atlanta, and everybody knows that's like one of the hardest places to win a playoff game if you're the opposing team. Like we went,
the Braves are so good at home, and obviously anything can happen. So there's nothing ever guaranteed in the game, but like the Braves are so good at home. Like
they're so good at home, it's crazy. They won their 50th game at home today. 50.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. And
they played, I'm curious. I'm looking at the standings because I want to see the home road splits for teams. I'm sorry. What did you say, Michael?
I was gonna say that's out of like 70 home games at this point. That's like 50 and 70.
Yeah, because what 81?
That's like being 30 games over 500 at home.
That's
that's wild. Yeah, Braves are 50 and 25.
50 and 25. They're 25 games over 500 at home.
Yeah,
that's not even half of their season
at home.
That's insane. I can't believe we have 91 wins.
And we won 88 last year. Won the World Series. Somebody said, some Dodgers fan today said, I can't believe Freddie Freeman's never won 100 games in this season. I was like,
I saw that. Yeah. Well,
he
didn't.
It
was something like. Was like, oh, that's really sad. I can't believe he's never won 100 games. Last year, the Braves only won 88. Tell me what happened. Yeah. Remind me.
What else happened?
It's almost like there's more to the story.
For the Dodgers?
Everybody went home off first. Is that what happened? Like, come on. So before we just riff forever, let's talk about some other things. Matt Olson is
dreadfully bad right now.
I mean, one of the worst slumps I've ever seen a player go through.
Oh yeah,
and what's crazy is I wasn't paying much attention to Matt Olson because the Braves were playing so well. Mm-hmm. They were, they won 8 in a row or whatever. So it was like, okay, whatever. And then he hit that homer out in Oakland, and it was like, okay, so yeah, he's still being Matt Olson.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah,
I feel like he hasn't had a hit since, and it feels like. But I know he had like 1 or 2 in Seattle. Yeah, he did not have a hit in this series.
No, and a lot of strikeouts. That's the thing too. Is like yesterday he made a little bit more contact. The foul balls kind of crushing balls that for outs. But he's striking out a lot, and he just swings through so many pitches in the zone.
Middle fastballs. He's just
like he really doesn't chase a ton. He just can't. I don't know. He's just having, and I guess the worse it goes, the longer it goes, the more pressure there is on him, and it's.
Oh yeah, dude.
And most of that's coming from himself too. Like he's getting madder at the plate than I've ever seen him. I mean, he's always so even keel, so composed. But on the mic yesterday, you could hear him yell, "God damn!" after he struck out.
Yeah,
like really clear. You never see that type of reaction from him. So I just hope his last hit was in California.
His last hit was in California.
It was in the first game of the San Francisco series was his last hit. So that's 3 games against San Francisco.
6 games ago.
Yeah, 6 games ago. Unless he got a hit today, but I don't.
No, he did not have a hit today.
He has 4 hits this month. His average this month is .080 or .80. That's awful.
Yeah, and it's gone down since then because that was late coming in today.
Yeah, that's right. That was coming into today.
So -7 weighted runs created plus in September.
Abysmal.
Yep.
It's September 18th.
And I don't understand the refusal to give him a day off beyond the scheduled days off. Just let him sit in the dugout and watch the rest of the guys play.
I know why it is. You know why.
The Freddie mentality?
Is it a Freddie thing, do you think?
He has the longest active streak in baseball.
So let him play the first inning and then sub him out.
that counts.
Brian Snicker. Yeah, and Brian Snicker's like, I'm gonna keep running my guy out there, man. He's got He's the longest.
Then move him down in the lineup. I don't understand. Can you do one of those things? Either give him a day off or put him in like the 7 hole.
He needs to be
for now.
A lot of value in loyalty, but Snitker's loyalty to his guys is dangerous. Yeah,
to a fault. You're
gonna see Matt Olson in the 4 hole every day, and he doesn't deserve to be there.
He shouldn't even be in the 4 hole. Riley should be in the 4 hole.
No, he shouldn't.
Riley should be there.
Riley should be in the 4 hole.
Hitting 5th. Or
Michael Harris should be hitting
now,
3rd.
But Michael 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, dude, Ronnie, Dansby, Harris, Riley, Contreras, and then from there, dude, you've got 8, 9
Olsen
people you can choose those last 4 spots.
Yeah.
I mean, Olsen. Yeah, I don't think Olsen should bat any further down than 6th because he's still got the power to like change the game at any moment. But if you put all those guys in front of him,
right,
like they're going to be clogging up the base paths for him. So then he could potentially hit those 3-run grand slams, whatever. Like, like batting him 2nd for like the first 2 months was just like.
Well, he was Freddie's replacement. I mean, he just.
Dude, I wanted to bang my head against the fucking wall. I was like, "What are we doing?" This and
it kept happening where Ozzie was hitting home runs and Matt was getting on base 50% of the time. He took that 550 on base percentage into like mid-May or late May.
Nobody was on base for him. Remember that was crazy. He was just hitting doubles.
He just hit a double
was on base for him.
And then he'd come
nobody
up
would drive him in.
There'd be a runner on second
Ozzie
or third.
Hit a solo home run.
Every 15 at bats, he'd have a runner in scoring position, and he'd line out to dead center, and everybody on Twitter would go, "This guy can't hit with runners in scoring position."
Yeah, I remember that argument about
he doesn't get a chance
scoring position. That's
right. But it's funny if you go look at his splits now. He's got like in quote unquote high leverage spots, like big moments in the game. He's got like a 220 weighted runs created plus or some shit.
Wow.
And then his weighted runs created plus with runners in scoring position is like 30 points higher than so it's like completely flipped at this point. The only time he can hit is in the big moment. And
so put some damn runners on for him.
Yeah, I feel bad for Olsen, but
I do. I feel so bad. I'm willing to like live with like another week of slump if it means he's gonna like go off for the end of the season and into the playoffs. But right now, I'm just like, is that gonna happen? And I feel like the longer it goes, I'm like, just a single right now, just a single. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I know that one that he almost blooped in today. I was like, please fall.
And it was Schwarber too.
Schwarber barely got.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like they've got the outfield defense in the league, and you hope that one could drop.
And somehow found
the one ball that doesn't drop in that outfield.
Yeah,
is
fielding
that
3
ball.
Designated hitters in the outfield, or 2 at least.
Now we could probably talk about Matt Olson being bad all day, but we should talk about Robbie Grossman.
Let's talk about Robbie.
He has been
Grossman being good.
Awesome. Like
what a pickup, man.
Dude.
Be a replacement level outfielder in case Rosario goes down.
Better than Eddie.
Like that. He's better than Eddie.
Right now, I want him in the lineup over Eddie.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, at this point in the season, against righties or lefties, I almost said Eddie. Robbie is my postseason left fielder.
Yeah.
For sure.
I know there's the legend of postseason Eddie. We all know what he did last year, but until he can kind of prove otherwise, Robbie's the guy.
Look, there's a reason people become legends.
Yeah.
And that's because they do things that nobody expected them to do.
Yeah, because they sucked in the regular season.
Yeah.
It's kind of I hope we have another long postseason run. I hope it's not just those 3 games.
I still think
Robbie's the kind of, and he's been good anyway, but he's totally the guy I can see being like a CSM or something, just goes off,
He could be awesome. He could be the Eddie
I'm trying to
Rosario.
think who do I think would be the guy, like Grissom, another one. I could just see him randomly.
I could see it being Vaughn Grissom and just a couple random Orlando Arcia big knocks in the postseason.
When he walked off the Red Sox this year.
Everybody's like, how long has he been back from the IL?
That was funny because that was like
for
a
month
week and a half ago. I didn't realize. People still today didn't realize.
Most people today were like, "When's Arcia coming back?"
He's sitting on the bench.
September 1st. He's been back for 17 days and he hasn't had an at bat. Like that's the one thing I get aggravated with Snit. It's like you have all these pieces, like by not utilizing them at all, you're letting rust build up on them. And then if you try to use that part in your car, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Could Arcia play first base theoretically if Olsen needed to come out?
I don't see why not. Somebody's got to be back at first
he could
baseman.
randomly spell somebody.
Yeah. I mean,
like if we're just talking about one game, just to kind of give someone a day off, like.
I mean, he's a shortstop by trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has an arm, so he could play third.
But I think that they said Dansby was the sheriff the other day. That's what. That's what.
That's why I joked. I was like, it's the Freddie mentality.
As soon as they said it, I was like, son of a bitch, he's Freddie all over again. Like, he probably comes in and he's just like sitting in Vaughn Grissom's locker. He's like, "What are you doing today, buddy?"
You're playing. That's what you're doing.
What are you doing, kid? He's like, Dansby, you're 27, dude. You're 28. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. But and
just because it worked last year doesn't mean it's the best way to go about things.
Right.
And that's the mental trap that so many people fall into.
It didn't work
just because we had like four players.
Did anybody watch Ozzie Albies in the postseason?
That's true. Yeah, he was awful. Just because we had four guys play 160 games last year and won the World Series does not mean that's the correct move, nor does that mean it's going to pay off this year. Yep. But there's people that just want to say, well, Snit won a World Series last year. Everything he does is perfect.
Oh God, you can never criticize him because he led us to a World Series.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to criticize him. I don't
so much.
The players won him a World Series. Like, you need to have the players, too. Like, do you understand that? Like, it's not just that Snit is the reason for it.
Dude, if I go to work,
the fact that Will Smith became Mariano Rivera for 11 games is really what helped the World Series.
Obviously, Snit,
Snit did that. It's because he
waved his magic wand, and
he was a puppet master.
I'm sticking with my guy, and they're like, "Are you sure it's a World Series?" And he's like, "I'm doing it." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And it happened.
I'm loyal to him.
Yeah. And then now Alex Anthopoulos has to be like, for the rest of his career, he has to be like, "Yeah, man, Brian Snitker, he's
he'll have a job until he retires.
He won a World Series.
So you cannot. I mean, he'll never.
Can't question it.
I mean, I'm not going to complain that we won a World Series.
Oh, yeah.
I would never complain about that. But it pretty much
I don't want it. Take it back.
Yeah, it pretty much sealed
Give it to the Mets.
The fate of Nick being our manager until he elected.
I guess that's the trade-off.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
whatever. I'll take that trade.
Choose anybody else. Like
I'll do
all
it.
The managers that are out there right now, all the options. I don't think I would. I don't know who I would pick over Snitker. But at the same time, I can also appreciate that he could improve.
I think about guys that not like current managers or like Ryan McCann, Nick Markakis. Those are guys that I would love.
You know who?
Ron Washington.
You know who should be the next Braves manager? And I'll be pissed if it doesn't happen. Like Tyler Flowers. How much I want it to happen. No, but that's a good one too. I like that. Oh my God, I love Tyler Flowers. No, Mark DeRosa.
Brian Jordan.
Yep.
Oh, Mark DeRosa would be excellent. Oh my God!
We wouldn't have to hear him on the broadcast, silly.
Yeah,
Brian Jordan. Could you imagine if he was in there making the calls? Holy
I knew that was going to happen. That's why I told him to do this because I knew it was going to happen.
After an at bat, Ozzie comes back in the dugout and he's like, "Ozzie, you gotta be more aggressive up there, buddy." And he goes back out the next inning.
Way to be patient.
Swings at the first pitch and he comes like, "You need to be a little more patient, man." It's like, what?
He's gonna hit a home run. I really didn't like that approach.
I wish you had watched that
there
pitch instead of putting it 450 feet up in the stands.
Mark DeRosa is hasn't he been talked about for the Texas job?
Yes, and it would piss me off so bad. They can have Ron Washington. That's how serious I am about this.
Wow.
It will be interesting to see after Snitker. I would because
D-Row lives in Atlanta. He lives in Atlanta. He's lived in Atlanta.
If he wants a job now, he is not. He's going to have to wait a few years if he wants this job.
Yeah,
so.
That's the thing. And he loves the Braves. He comes to games with Brian McCann all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Him and Brian McCann
so
are best friends.
If Snicker ever retires, he'll be like 95 still in there. But
Right.
I hope it's not just like, oh, like Walt Weiss is going to be the man. Like I want some fresh blood to come in.
There's your manager and pitching coach. How dope would that be?
Yeah.
Brian McCann, pitching coach. Mark DeRosa is your manager. Dude, that'd be sick. That'd be awesome. Because the thing about Mark DeRosa that I like is like, yeah, he's still got that old school stuff, whatever. They're all going to have that. Every player, even today's players, are going to have that. Like, because there's just this fraternity about it that they're always going to say, well, this stuff I don't like and this stuff I don't like.
And play the game the right way type of mentality.
We'll never stop hearing that shit. But then you have guys like a Mark DeRosa.
Yeah.
Like
understanding the advanced.
Who talks. Yeah. Who understands the advanced analytics. Like he literally talks about them for a living. So I know he knows what they are. Like I listen to him talk about it and I'm like, yeah, hey, cool. And like when he breaks down a hitter's swing, I'm like, dude, this guy knows. Like he understands. That's why. So I'll die.
No, that's a good idea. I didn't think about it. So now we have our top 3. Although top 4 if we had Tyler Flowers in there. Guys that I just think would be awesome.
I'd love Tyler Flowers to be. I don't know why he's not back, because he was last year.
Yeah, like in the front office or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in the front office last year. Maybe he still is, and it's just like nobody talks about it.
Yeah, I learned about that on the Boog talked about it on like the Cubs broadcast or something. And we're like, wait, what?
Jambi. What a name.
Like, I didn't know that. The Braves never announced that, but he knows. Like,
yeah, and then they signed him to that minor league deal. And it was like, oh, he's coming back. And then he's like, oh, never mind. I blew my back out, man. Yeah, I'm done forever. Man. Yeah, he got so much
we
hate.
Ended up with Kevin Smith and
because we signed him because of everything that happened, and they were like, okay, well, we'll bring Flowers back.
Jonathan Lucroy, that was another one.
Oh my God, Lucroy! I forgot about that.
He played in Pittsburgh, I think it was.
Stephen
Vogt, of course, the legend.
I believe Stephen Vogt.
Hit 2 home runs, got injured, and the poor guy didn't. The poor bastard didn't play another inning.
Yeah, and got a World Series ring. So
yeah, hell yeah, and he deserved it too, because him and Jock are the reason that happened. Like, they went into that clubhouse together and they said, "Yo, these guys look dead. Let's change that," and they did. Like, I love Stephen Vogt. I'll always be a big Stephen. I love Stephen Vogt back when he first came up. Like, I was like, this guy, like, he's fun to watch. Like, he's just a big burly guy, and like, you know, he hit homers, and he was I like catchers. I'm a big catcher guy. Catchers are awesome. Catchers are my favorite.
I love that he's in Oakland again.
For the Athletics now.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, is he not catching at all?
I'm not sure, but so they've got 3. They've got Sean Murphy, who's their main catcher.
And Langoliers is up.
Yeah, and Langoliers. So they'll have Murphy catch, Langoliers DH, and then both play first base. Yeah. So they've got they roll out a 3-catcher lineup. Now, considering that it's basically a AAA team. I mean, you know, it is what it is. But it's kind of cool. They've got a 3-catcher package.
Hey, that AAA team gave us a run for our money in one of those.
They did, man.
Yeah, dude. I was like, this is going to be hell.
They took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees, too. So
they did, yeah. That was crazy.
I'm hoping they do that to the Mets. I know the Mets go out
New York
there,
Mets.
I think.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Fuck the Mets. No, sorry, Mets fans. Fuck the Mets. So, and then what was it? Okay, so we wanted to talk about acquisitions. We've already talked about Robbie Grossman. But, dude, Raisel Iglesias. I mean,
I think last night was the first time he sort of struggled a bit.
Yeah, good. Get it out of the way now.
It was like that gif of
he can suck tomorrow too. I don't care, but as long as he's good in October, I'm good with it.
Yeah, get the
I was
kinks
talking
out.
about this with Jordan last night, but you know, there's unfortunately people that are going to use last night's outing as an argument against him being a closer. But I mean, still won.
Yeah, even though he didn't actually allow a run. That run was AJ Minter.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too, is like you come in with a runner already at second, so it's like you don't have a ton of room forever. I guess the game's 4-2 at that point. Like it is kind of, versus coming in with a clean inning. So I still,
but he got the job.
Hasn't allowed it. Yeah,
like he kept the lead. That's his job.
These are big league hitters. They're also trying to do their job of hitting and getting runs. Like that's what I sometimes think when people are like, oh my God, this guy blew it. It's like both, the hitter and the pitcher have a job. Somebody's failing regardless of the outcome of the at bat. Sometimes hitters are going to get hit.
When Kenley gave up that home run to Harper early in the season, everybody was like, Kenley sucks. I was like, that's a 2-time MVP over there. Guys, like, what are you talking about?
Some guys, you're like, you know what? This is a good hitter. Sometimes
Kenley's had some.
I was at that game.
Some rough outings. Oh, you were at that game?
Yes, I was at the game. That's the one that Contreras walked off.
Yeah,
they dropped the high Ronald double.
Yeah,
I remember I had turned that game off before the top of the ninth. And I saw that Kenley blew it, and I was like, yeah, fuck that. And then like a few minutes later, it was like, Braves win. I was like, wait, what? I got to go back and watch. What the hell happened?
Quick. They scored 2
runs. It was the first 2 batters. I think
Ronald
was the first pitch.
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
It was,
but so many people were like shitting on Jansen for that. And it's like, Bryce Harper's a really good hitter, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I know you don't like him. I still don't understand why he gets booed every time he comes to Atlanta. I'm like, dude, this guy is awesome. He's a great baseball player. He's a nice person. Like,
so fun.
He was good friends with Fred, or is good friends with Freddie. Like, I don't know why we hate him. What are we still doing here?
Yeah. Because he kicked the dirt in the A in
10 years ago when he was 21 years old.
Like, what? And to be honest, like, probably didn't even think about it. He probably just did it and was just kicking dirt. And didn't even register him. And then our truck pulls it up and is like, look what Bryce Harper just did. It's like, oh, fuck. Yeah. And then I don't know. I love Bryce Harper. I think he's a great baseball player. He's
my favorite non-Braves player.
I'm really glad that he absolutely sucked this series because that's what I want him to do against us. But I love watching him play baseball. Like, he's great. You can't take that away from him. So,
for sure.
So yeah, I mean,
Iglesias. Sorry, I know this is going back a little bit. I was just.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Iglesias has 18.2 innings pitched with the Braves, 1 earned run, and that was Tuesday, August 9th.
I was about to say that was one of his first.
It was early on. Yeah, I think it was in Boston.
It was in Boston. Yeah. I think it was the Vaughn Grissom game. He blew a save. We ended up winning it in extras.
That was a crazy game.
Yeah.
And that started that 8-game win streak. Or maybe it was the second. I forget which.
Oh, yeah, that slide by Ronnie.
It was the first game in Boston, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the slide game.
Remember the slide by Ronnie? God, that was sick. That was I remember when he did that and he you never would have thought he was hurting at that time. When he did that, because he immediately jumped up and he's screaming
I feel like it's when the adrenaline hits. He's like, "Oh wait, my knee!" He doesn't.
It's oh shit! I forgot about this. Yeah,
that was when he jumped off the ground and the helmet just kept going.
Yeah,
he jumped out of his helmet.
And he did. Yeah, he's looked a lot better. Ronald.
He's a lot better. This weekend was so
God.
good. He's
making that game last night was just
yesterday is we won because of him on both sides of the ball.
Hands down.
Catch he made. Unbelievable. I don't know many other people make that catch.
There should have been another out that would have been a crazy play by him when Harper got that double.
Oh, yeah.
He was out.
And even he saved him and Harris saved runs on sac flies or whichever one it was. Maybe it wasn't the Harris one would have been a sac fly. The other one I know.
Infield singles, maybe?
Yeah, it was something where Harper didn't score.
Yeah, the Harris one would have been a sac fly, but Harris held him up and he didn't run. And then immediately after Harper got that double, there was a single.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
Ronnie held him up
to right center,
and then there was a sac fly that Ronnie threw. It didn't even bounce.
Yeah,
they did get the run. But that throw was insane. So just that defense in the arms.
And then all he did on the offense was have 4 RBIs.
Be responsible for every run.
Drove in all 4
every single run.
Yeah. So
dude, so good. And then today he had a double. Yeah.
I didn't see that double. I thought it was a homer because I was in the other room, and Grossman had just hit the homer. So I was like, fuck yeah. And I went in the other room to do something real quick. And then I heard Chip, freaking out. Yeah, doing chip things. And I was like, oh, shit, another homer. Oh, shit. And then he said Ronnie. And I was like, oh, it's Ronald. Oh, shit.
Three in a row.
Like, I run in there, and he's standing at second. And I was like, oh, okay, well, it was double. Like, all right, we'll take it. And then did you see when Riley drove him in? He comes running around third, and he looks at Marsh, and he's like, oh, that's so fucking sick. I love
don't
Ronald
even try.
I
love him so much. I love that he's feeling good now. Like you can tell he's like,
oh yeah,
good.
Dude, he's smiling.
Which is cute, like a fresh Ronnie for the postseason.
Dude, it's dangerous. Dangerous. That dude can change the game at any second.
Mm-hmm. That home run on Friday was so awesome.
Yeah. The one that
that's what you get for walking Eddie Rosario, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember it was so funny because you and I both you tweeted, you're like, why is Eddie Rosario coming to the plate? And I was like, this is fucking stupid. And then
which I still don't know why you pinch hit one of our best hitters.
Well, I still think it was a stupid move. It just Snit got lucky and it worked. Yeah.
So now, of course, he'll do that more often and be like, "Oh yeah,
that's the problem."
Yeah, this is if I need a walk,
process over results.
Now.
Yeah, if I need a walk right here, Eddie Rosario is my guy. Might as well just throw Travis.
Robbie Grossman is a switch hitter, Snit. What? He can do it from the other side. You don't need to go to the lefty.
Why are you picking matchups with a switch hitter? What are you doing? I mean, he's been better than Eddie on both sides of the ball, or both sides of the plate. So it's doesn't make any sense. But it worked out, and Ronnie had a huge homer.
It worked
out.
And man, we needed that inning.
Oh, dude!
Because I feel like what had been happening, just for the last several games, was you'd have a solo homer here and there. You'd get a couple on, then there's the double play. They just didn't have any of those big innings where you get a few runs and it keeps going. And it was just so nice that they got the 2-run homer and then they kept producing more runs. It was just great to see. You hate to get that when you get, the first and third one out and then you're like, okay, well, never mind, So it actually cash in those extra runs.
Our pitching was great this series. Mm-hmm. Starting pitching, bullpen was great. Everything.
It was a great series.
The worst start we had was from Max Fried.
Yeah.
And it was a good start. I mean, 6 innings, 2 runs.
Yeah.
Now he's allowed a couple homers lately, which is weird for Max. But I mean, 2 starts in a row where he went 6 innings and gave up 2 home runs, and that was it. Mm-hmm. So is what it is. But who pitched yesterday? Oh, Jake Odorizzi.
Oh yeah,
rain delay, Jake. That's what I joked. I was like, was there a rain delay? I wasn't aware of. Why did he give no hitter through 4? I'm like, what are you doing?
But he still didn't get through 5 innings though.
I know.
Which is all right, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah. But I had no faith in that matchup. I was like, thank God we won Friday because Nola Odorizzi. I don't know what we're gonna get, and then
I thought for sure we're gonna lose this game. Mm-hmm. But Nola's just the calendar turns to September, and Nola just disappeared.
It was crazy because we got 4 off him early, but then he retired. I think it was 11 straight or something, and it was So we really, I'm shocked we didn't get more off him. So he's,
I think it's that way for Nola because the Phillies usually start a vacation in early October. So October 1st, October 2nd.
He's used to that, those fall days off.
Right now, they're usually looking at have they won 81 games yet?
80.
Oh, they had more than 81 last year, didn't they?
They were 82 and 80 last year, I think. Yeah, they're 80 and 66.
Well, if they lose the next 15 games, it stands. It's still rolling.
That would be hilarious if they didn't get to. If somehow the Brewers kind of went off, and I just at this point I'm like,
didn't make the postseason.
It's Padres, Phillies, Brewers are the 3 potential teams.
Yeah. Dude, they have to keep Rob Thompson, right?
I guess
as their manager. Yeah. I mean, how do you be like?
I don't think that's a coincidence.
Thanks for breaking our 10-year streak of being shit, but we're gonna go with somebody else.
Yeah,
How do you do that?
We're actually gonna rehire Joe Girardi.
Yeah, we just fired this legendary manager And then you took over and brought us to the postseason, but we're just gonna let you go and pick up somebody else.
Thanks for your service.
Yeah. We're looking for a Buck Showalter type, if you know any.
If you're aware of any.
Yeah. So yeah. So I wanted to touch on the new rules also.
Oh yeah.
We talked about pace of play earlier, and I don't have a problem with the pace of play, but
I don't just because I'm used to the game being played the way it is.
Right. Well, since we were kids when we fell in love with baseball, compared to now, the average length of a game is like 20 minutes longer or whatever. Like, that's fine. Okay, we want to try to eliminate that. But I have a problem with every single one of these rules. And people, like, the people I've told this to are like, no, you're just overthinking it. I don't know that I am. Like, the reason I have a problem with every single one of these rules is because every single one of these rules affects the pitcher. Every single one of these rules encourages more offense or is a way to create more offense. Bigger bases. Bigger bases means all those bang bang plays.
Bases.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and all those bang bang plays.
And just bang bang plays in general. You're right.
Everything like those become singles. Those become doubles. Those become triples. Stolen bases that weren't stolen bases become stolen bases. That affects the pitcher's ERA. It affects their FIP. It affects all of that stuff. Right? Well, no, it doesn't affect their FIP because home runs, strikeouts, walks, like stuff like that affects your FIP.
Balls in play.
Yeah, balls in play don't affect your FIP. But where they're going to affect pitchers, all of these rules, that's four rules that will effectively have a negative impact on the pitcher. It's going to affect these guys in arbitration.
Oh.
I don't like that. Because, like, say a guy's ERA goes up a decent amount. I mean, I understand that these are small things, but over the course of a full season,
a couple runs here and there that you've
you're talking about a couple of runs, whatever. Yeah, you're talking about maybe a pitcher like making $250,000 less in a season because of these rules.
They're also small things, but there's four of them. I mean, it's a lot of incremental changes happening at the exact same time.
Yeah.
If it was two, I'd be like, okay, whatever. Like,
if it was just like, we're banning the shift.
Yeah.
But but banning the shift, like there's a reason that the Braves went from one of the best defensive teams or one of the worst defensive teams last year in the first half. Like, they were having all kinds of defensive problems to one of the best defenses in baseball in the second half. And it was because they just automatically out of nowhere
started that shift.
Just completely changed their outlook on shifting. And they went from like the least shifted team to the most shifted team.
I remember I sent that article to my dad because he hates the shift. And I was like, just FYI, like, it does work. And that's the thing with the shift is, like, when it works, you don't really think about it, right? Like, it just works and you're like, cool. But when somebody hits, when they beat the shift or like, where it's like, oh my God, why are we shifting? It's like the shift works so much more than it doesn't, or we wouldn't be shifting.
Right.
But I've seen a few times this year where we didn't shift and a ball was a hit that would have gone, like, we would have been able to make a plan.
Yeah, would have gone into the shift.
I'm like, but no one talks about that either. It's like,
I was about to say, nobody brings that up because your brain doesn't think. Your brain doesn't think to point out, oh, they weren't shifted there, and that's why that was
There's
a hit.
reason people shift.
Your brain thinks,
more than likely than not.
Oh, they were shifted there, and because they were shifted, that hitter got a little dribbler down the other way, and it turned into a hit. Well, that's part of the gamble.
That's going to happen,
Nobody said, hey, this guy hits the ball 100% of the time to the right side. They said he does this 75% of the time. So 75% of the time, you're in the right place to make that play and get that out. That's gone.
Yep.
So
and it's like these things will help our offense. Which, like, okay, cool. Matt Olson's going to hit 400.
Yeah,
but, like,
Matt
at the same time, you're
MVP.
thinking of the guys who, against us, always hit into the shift that are going to be having hits. So
and Chip Carey can finally stop talking about, well, partner, they just hit it the other way then. I remember that. Who was it that one day that was like, it's not that easy, Chip?
Yeah, Frank Gore said that to him.
Was it Frank Gore? He was like, it's not that easy.
He was like, oh, hit it where it's pitched or whatever. And it's like, not that easy. And that's exactly it. Like, the shift wouldn't, like, if it was that easy to do, you'd see it more often. The shift wouldn't exist if it was so easy to beat the shift.
It would not exist. If you could just say, oh, they shifted me, so I'm just going to hit it this way every single time.
Like, I see a lot of criticisms of Matt Olson where it's like, why doesn't he just try to hit it the other way? It's like, because it isn't that easy. You go up there and try to hit 97 miles an hour the other way. Oh, wait on it and do it. Yeah, it's easy to sit on your couch and say, why doesn't he just try to poke it through the left side?
Yeah.
No.
I think Chip doesn't understand how little hitters control the direction the ball goes.
Yeah, and people think
like he thinks that they're all trying to specifically aim it.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, ideally.
Well, Mets fans think that Pete Alonso hit the third base bag on purpose. So
yeah, like
that's just
talent.
Where
you want to hit it, but if you think you're gonna hit it there every time, or if you think that it's even remotely plausible to hit it in a little slice of wherever you've chosen to hit it, it's not gonna happen.
And it doesn't
plausible.
Work like that. That's the thing.
It's not plausible. Yeah, it's not plausible.
Look.
You're lucky to get the barrel on the ball.
Yes.
You've got a 2-inch long, section that's this big of the bat that you're trying to get on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If
you have a split second to adjust to get it, you know what I mean? Like, even if let me pull my hands back a little and wait on the pitch. Like, you still have to have for it to happen the way you want it to happen. You might miss your spot. Like, it's really not that easy to do.
Well, another thing about it that always makes me laugh when people say, well, just hit it the other way. You realize that the pitcher is literally trying to throw a pitch that is going to induce soft contact.
Yeah.
Like, am I frozen? Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you are frozen.
Your video's frozen, but I can hear you.
Okay. Weird. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, I'll just finish my point and then I'll try to back out and fix this. I don't know why the hell it froze. But the pitcher is trying to get you to hit the ball a certain way.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Falcons-Rams game. And
they're not trying to be like, oh, well, let me try to get him to hit the ball, the other way. Like, oh, I'm going to shift all my guys this way, but I'm going to throw the ball away so that he can hit the other way. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if Jordan has to leave the stream for a second, we can hijack it and talk about football for 3 minutes.
I have red zone on. I have the Rams in my survivor pool. And the Rams just fumbled, and the Falcons got the ball back, so now they
fumbled it? I saw they blocked a punt for a touchdown.
It's 31-25 Rams, but I think the Falcons have the ball. I don't have the actual game on, so I don't know what's happening now.
Oh, okay. Wait, what the hell? I'm not. I think I'm in I'm not in that region. I don't think.
I don't want to see that. Hold on.
Yeah,
sorry, guys. My computer literally won't let me do anything, and so I may not be able to back out of this. Let me mute myself, and you guys can continue talking.
Well, you figure it out.
About something.
We're gonna be stuck live forever on YouTube because we can't.
Oh, the Falcons have it on the Rams 30. Wow.
Yeah, I have to see if that. This
would be crazy.
I have 2 strikes in my survivor pool. I still have 2 strikes left, but I'm still come on, don't do this. Oh. Yeah, I got Bengals at Cowboys.
So you're trying to pick who wins basically, or who?
Yeah. So every week you pick a team you think will win.
Okay.
And if they win, you advance. If they lose or tie, you're out. But the league that I'm in is 2 strikes, so you can lose once and then you still have life. But I won last week, so I still have 2 strikes left. So I'm okay if they lose, but it still sucks because I want to keep my 2 strikes. Okay, it's on the red.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sorry, we only have 3 watching, so I don't even know who's actually watching us. We went into football mode. Crazy.
Yeah, not been a whole lot of activity in the chat today, but.
No,
it's okay.
Usually it's you. You're the one in the chat.
Yeah, usually. Well, me and Trent, and then.
Yeah.
For some of them, they've been.
Yeah, sometimes we have
Been a lot
people
of
here and there.
activity.
It's only 4 watching now, but I think I'm one of them because I have the
I think
so
I'm
I don't
one
know
of
who's
them
here.
too.
It's the 3 of us and then somebody else. This is crazy.
Man, if the Falcons, the way the Ravens.
What's funny is that the Rams were up
blew the
28-3 at one point.
Really? No way.
So if the Rams lose this game, that they were up 28-3,
it would break the curse, wouldn't it? I mean, it would be.
Maybe that's what's going to happen.
I don't like the Cowboys at all, but I do want them to beat the Bengals. Steelers lost, and then the Browns and the Ravens blew massive leads, which was hilarious. So I'm hoping the Bengals can complete it. If everybody in the AFC North loses, it dulls the pain of the Steelers losing.
Yeah, it means nothing. We just move on to the next.
Yeah. Just
no
move
game
on to the next
lost.
week. Standings intact.
No ground lost.
Still tied for first place. Imagine though if the Bengals lose and the Rams lose, I don't know if there's a huge chance the Rams lose. The 2 Super Bowl contenders would start off a combined 0-4.
Who are the contenders this year?
Or sorry, the 2 previous teams last year, the Rams, Bengals.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right. I was thinking Bills. I'm like, oh no, the Bills weren't in the.
Yeah, no, they weren't. I'm excited for Bears-Packers tonight. That's going to be good. I think the Packers are going to stomp them, but I love when they get the historic rivalry games on primetime. I don't like the split Monday night game that they're doing tomorrow because you have one game at 7:15, one game at 8:20, so they're going to overlap.
There's 2 games tomorrow?
2 games tomorrow, yeah. Bills and
weird.
I think Titans. Yeah,
Bills and Titans are tomorrow. Okay.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I was thinking that game was tonight because I know Vikings and Eagles is tomorrow. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then Vikings-Eagles starts an hour and 15 minutes later. So if you want to watch both of them, it's like gotta have 2 screens, I guess.
Gotta get the multiple TVs up.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can. You're still the same picture though.
Yeah, my computer completely froze.
Frame.
I can't see you guys at all, but I can talk. So
okay, that kind of works.
I don't know what's happening at all. I even tried to turn my computer off. It won't let me shut the computer off.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I found a thread how to fix it. So I don't know. What? Hold on.
Oh, we haven't even gotten to the worst rule yet.
What's that? The pitch clock?
No, not even that.
The pickoff rule.
Pickoffs.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That rule sucks.
You know, it's with
that rule sucks.
It does.
I'm finding it hard to articulate how dumb it is. Like you're limiting people's ability to do anything. So I was reading this little ESPN summary about it, and it looks like a pickoff is considered a disengagement, like a step off. You step off the mound. A pitcher's only allowed 2 disengagements per at bat.
Disengagements.
Disengagement is the term they're using. So
gosh.
You can step off the rubber. You can pick off, fake a pickoff, or step off the rubber. Those are the 3 things you can do, and you can do them a total of twice per at bat.
So you can only step off twice.
You can only step off the rubber. Step off twice.
God.
You can pick off once, step off once. If you step off twice, the guy can steal, basically.
So what happens if you in the beginning? This is all these pitchers are going to forget what the hell the rules are. Yeah. Like someone's going to step off a 3rd time. So what's that? A balk? A ball? What is that?
It's not a ball. It's a balk. So it's a free base.
Players are going to be getting balked all the time.
Oh yeah, it's going to be constant
all the time.
And nothing is worse to watch than a balk. Like everybody hates a balk. A walk-off balk is the worst way to end a game, even for the home team.
Balk
I mean,
off.
Yeah. If you get a walk-off walk,
this is a cheap way. It's a cheap way to advance with the runner.
Especially because it's not like there's a clear definition of what a balk is anyway. I mean, there was a walk-off balk earlier this year that the guy did nothing. I mean, he kind of twitched, but his feet didn't leave the rubber.
I still like balks. I'm like, I don't quite understand. And what's funny is there was one, I forget what game it was, where I was even like, oh, that was clearly a balk. It might have been a Yankees game.
Yeah, it was the Yankees.
Intercepted by the Rams.
And
like,
wow.
Where I was like, that was absolutely a balk, and it wasn't called. But like the tiniest twitch, they're like, that's a balk. I'm like, what? He blinked. Like I don't understand. But yeah, so
Kenley balks on purpose.
Yeah,
his delivery is so weird.
Yeah, but he balks on purpose.
Yeah.
If there's a runner on second, and like he's got a 3-run lead, and there's a runner on second, and there's only like 2 outs or 1 out or something. He will intentionally come set on the rubber and then drop the ball. Has he done
that with the Braves?
He did it one time.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. He did it like, God, it was like a month and a half ago.
Yeah, but I remember happening. I remember him dropping the ball.
Yeah, because people were like, well, why the hell did he do that? And then it was like slowly people started remembering, oh, he used to do this with the Dodgers all the time. Yeah.
But what's crazy is his delivery is so balky anyway. Like,
when he was
before he was a Brave, I hated watching. I was like, God, this guy's so annoying. So annoying. Anyone once they're a Brave, I'm like, love him, but like his delivery was so annoying to watch.
What's crazy to me is nowadays we have PitchCom. So like, why not just use PitchCom?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, if you're worried that somebody's stealing your sign, like you're just giving them a free base at this point when you can just use PitchCom.
Yeah. That's the point of PitchCom is so that they can't steal your signs.
Right. So when he did it this year, I was like, what's he doing? Why? Like, I mean, we still ended up getting the win and like he got out of it or whatever. And like, but it is interesting. I think a balk is so 99% of the time when a balk is called, no one knows why the balk is called.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, wait, was it that? Oh, he flinched a little bit.
Which movement was it?
Yeah. Okay.
I'd be very interested to take like an MLB umpire and have him watch clips of like 100 straight things and see what his ruling on balk or no balk is. And I'm convinced it would be like 50-50. It would be essentially random.
Yeah, like because show him a bunch of Julio Teheran pickoff moves.
Yeah.
Or something like that and be like, which one's a balk? And he'd be like, I don't know.
Show them a bunch of Kenley Jansen. Yeah. I think it was that Rays Yankees clear balk that wasn't called.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that's what's so funny to me is like when they happen, like nobody is expecting a balk because they happen so rarely that it's like, oh, there was a balk. And it's like, and then you and then you have that.
Notice it too when it's
that's the thing.
And
you always have this
like,
moment.
Yes, what?
Yeah, you always have this moment in your head where you're like, oh shit, the umps were looking for that.
Yeah,
like
oh, that
these umps are paying attention, is what you're telling me.
They are actually doing their job, kind of. No wonder they can't figure out balls and strikes. They're too focused on trying to figure out if the guy on the mound is balking or not. It's like,
and since nobody knows what a balk is, it takes a lot of mental effort.
Oh yeah, it's always so frustrating. It's like, okay, is that where? No, it wasn't that. Oh, okay. What? Oh, okay, was that? Oh, okay. All right, and then it was
one of these several moves that he made.
The funniest thing is when like you're watching baseball with somebody who doesn't know what a balk is, and they're like, "What's a balk?" And
I still am not sure. Like I'm still
dude. Nobody knows. That's what I just tell people.
I can't notice it on my own.
Nobody knows what a balk is.
But if you show me what, I'm like,
when the umpire hates the pitcher and wants to take revenge.
It was designed.
He's like, balky balked. What?
Yeah, it was the intention of it was to like remove. I don't know. I guess remove the deception.
Yeah.
From your delivery, like, oh, you have to do these certain things, but it got so like particular, like, oh, you have to come set for like so long. Didn't that happen?
There are certain things I still don't understand about certain situations coming set. Like there was some game I watched, I think it was Phillies and Dodgers, where they were like, oh, the pitcher has to make sure he comes set, and I was like, I don't know, just throw the ball. I don't really know those specific nuances of the rules.
Well, there are pitchers who try to like quick pitch people.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand. Why is a quick pitch not a balk? But players will be called for a balk if they just don't come set all the way.
That's right. We saw a quick pitch, I think, in a Braves game. I don't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Braves, actually, but where the guy just got to the rubber and then almost immediately fired the pitch.
Yeah, quick pitches piss hitters off, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet.
They're like, man, fuck you, dude. Like, give me a chance. Like, that's just a cheap way of stealing a strike. Now, when my guy does it, I'm like, hell yeah, quick pitch. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah. So, and then I guess the final rule there is the pitch clock. How do you?
I mean, there are some pitchers who take forever, like, and some batters who take forever. Have you ever watched Mark Canha walked up to the? It's like, oh my god, get in there and take your pitch. So I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm good with that, especially because I did read something that it was like the games were like 26 minutes overall shorter with with the pitch clock. So that's something where I'd like to see it. But there are some pitchers and some hitters who take a long time, and it's like, just let's go. So I'm kind of for that. I don't know. We'll see.
And then it turns into this whole strategy of if you have a pitcher who's really quick, and we've seen this with people working against Kyle, right? I think we've seen the Mets do this against Kyle, where they'll get ready. I guess Jordan.
We lost Jordan.
We lost Jordan. Okay, they'll get in the box and they'll get out of the box and they'll get in and out just to mess with the pitcher, and that is cool, but it's not fun to watch. I mean, it's not action. So I of all the rules, that's the one I understand the most.
Yeah.
And for all the pitchers that really need the time, it's like just kind of deal with it. I mean,
right. Yeah.
It's not the worst thing in the world to have to deliver a pitch within 15, 18 seconds, something like that.
Yeah, I think is it 15 with nobody on, 20 with a runner on?
I think so. Yeah,
I
think it's something like that.
So it's a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see.
But it also means if you're hitting the end of it's going to make it, the things like the pitch clock will make it easier for batters to steal. Well,
yeah, you're right.
If you add in the pitch clock and the two pickoffs, if a pitcher completes two disengagements, and then then the pitch clock's winding down, the batter can just take off, and the pitcher either has to balk or deliver a pitch if he's not ready. If the pitcher's taking a while to come forward, the batter can leave with 2 seconds on the pitch clock. Pitcher can't do anything about it.
Yeah. I feel like there's going to be a lot of little things that they're going to have to get used to. And I assume obviously in spring training they work with all that stuff, but still I feel like it's an adjustment for all of them to, so.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Yeah. Finally. I was just sitting here. I was like, whatever, dude, I'm just going to keep talking and whatever will happen. And my computer does this weird thing where it just shuts off all the time. Oh, wow. Colleen knows this. I've left her hanging in so many podcasts, and it takes me a minute or two to get it back up. But this time it didn't do that. It just, I froze, and then I could do nothing. But for some reason, I was still in the podcast and could still talk. So
still able to talk.
Yeah. So now I'm back, and I don't look like whatever. So
completely frozen.
So, anyways, what were we talking? Were you talking about the pitch clock?
We're talking about the pitch clock
right as I got kicked out.
We were.
Okay. So, what are your opinions? I want to hear this since I didn't.
I think I'm for the pitch clock.
I'm for it. I'm okay with it.
That's the one, probably the most where I'm like, just get on with it, kind of.
Yeah. The only reason that I say I'm against it or whatever like that is only because there's 4 new rules that all affect the pitcher. Yeah. That's my problem. That's the only thing I care about. So that makes it hard. Turn this light on because it's pretty dark. But the pitch clock I'm cool with. I get it. And you see these kids coming up from AAA who have been using it. And dude, they're working quick. Mm-hmm. They're rolling. Muller and Bryce Elder. They come up, dude, they're throwing, they're ready to go. They're on the rubber, they're rolling. And that's refreshing because then you do see a Kenley Jansen who takes them out. And Kenley takes so long.
There's a feature on Baseball Savant now where you can look at that, the length of time it takes a pitcher to throw.
Yeah, that's right.
I forget where exactly it is, but I was like, wow.
I think Kenley's like the worst, isn't he?
He's definitely up there.
Imagine he is.
And you could also look for batters that take forever. And like Mark Hanna's like up. Like it's just like somebody's like, oh my gosh.
Mark Hanna versus Kenley Jansen be the most agonizing match.
Get in the fucking box. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, what happened to that rule? You remember a few years ago when they were like, can't step out of the box?
I think that's included in this rule. It's neither the pitcher nor the batter can disengage.
But that's already a rule,
like
and it doesn't get enforced.
Pitch tempo. I don't remember that even as a.
Yeah, because I remember David Ortiz got called. He got a ball or something in spring training for it one time. I was like, what the fuck? And maybe he didn't get a ball. Like, they called him out on it. They were like, get back in the box. And he was like, what? And they're like, get in the box. And like him and the umpire had like a little, yeah, like they had like a little, like, yeah, argument over it. Which I would have picked my guy a little bit easier than that. I don't think David Ortiz would have been the guy that I was like, get in the fucking box. You know,
yeah,
like,
I'm gonna have a power trip as an ump.
Teacher Hall of Famer,
you're okay.
You can
step out. Like,
okay, but I'm gonna quiz you now.
Okay.
Who do you think is the highest like tempo pitcher between pitches?
Oh, like the fastest pitcher between pitches?
That means it's not.
Oh,
yeah, it's not Kenley Jansen.
Kenley Jansen. But
Kenley Jansen is number 2.
I was about to say he's got to be top 5 though, right?
Kenley Jansen is 25.9, so like that dude's got to get friggin' used to this.
Whew.
The next one, the highest is 26 average, so just
26. Can you give me a hint?
Like the division, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He's in a central division.
It's a reliever, right?
Yes. You'll know as soon as I say it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, duh.
He's in the central division. Is he a
Cardinal? I have
Cardinal?
one more hint, but it'll give it away.
Is he a Cardinal?
Yes.
Is it Helsley?
No.
Oh. Trying to think who
You have
else
a guess, Kasper?
I'm trying to think who their other guy is.
I know you probably know who it is. You just can't think of his name.
Yeah.
The human rain delay?
Oh, it's not Hicks, is it?
No. Do you want me to tell you?
I know. I
you know who
I
it is. You
this
just can't think of his name. It's Giovanni Gallegos.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise
me. When I saw him,
me.
like, oh yeah, that's. Yeah. I remember last year when we were.
I never knew that was his nickname.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
but I remember Jeff Francourt was like, "Oh, he's the human rain delay."
Yeah. I never like people actually call him that like all the time. Like whenever we were watching, remember that night that we were watching the ESPN broadcast?
Yeah.
Dansby hit that 3-run homer off of Helsley. Like they said they called him that.
2 like terrible Sunday night games, like
like know, man.
Those are the 2 games that I guess because they're more recent, but 2 games that I'm like, I won't soon be over them if we lose the division by a game or 2.
Wait, anyway. You're talking about that one and then Seattle?
Seattle.
Oh yeah. I was talking about that one in the Kenley Sunday night game back in June.
That's what she's talking about.
I was
okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that, but I'm just thinking of 2 recent Sunday games.
Kenley Sunday night game. Oh, you're talking
against
about
the Dodgers. Yeah. 2-0 going to the ninth or 3-0? I don't know. It was a shutout going to the ninth.
2-0.
It was 2-0. 0-2 pitch.
2 outs.
2 outs. And it was like
just over Olsen's glove.
Little bloop single to right field, and then he just couldn't stop the bleeding, and it was like, what are we doing here? And I'm sure it like haunted Kenley because it was the Dodgers.
Yeah,
like, and then he went on the IL right after that for the heart thing.
Yeah, well, he pitched in that game with the heart. He was in AFib. He knew he was in AFib. Yeah,
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he felt it on that Thursday.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
So he pitched twice that weekend?
He pitched twice that weekend in AFib. And I was like, that's a bad son of a bitch to do some shit like that. Like, that's crazy. I would have been like,
Freddie
take me to the hospital.
He was
right
like, Freddie's going to
now.
yell at me if I don't pitch.
He's like, I can't be the guy who steps off the field while Freddie's in town because I got a heart condition.
Oh all look weak.
It does sound like the kind of thing they make up when they give you a phantom IL stint. Like, heart
it
palpitations
does.
or something.
But he's had that problem since 2011 though.
Yeah.
So it's like, I remember the first time I heard about it, I was like concerned for him because like he's a big dude.
Yeah, like he couldn't pitch in Colorado or something because of the elevation.
Yeah, he doesn't like pitching in Colorado because of the elevation.
He did pitch out there with us.
Yeah. And I think he did well, right?
I know he got it was like our it was
we swept, so he must have done well.
It was like he did give up like a double or something. But we won the game by 1 run, I believe.
Well.
Who do you think is the quickest pitcher? You won't guess because I don't think I know who the person is, but you're not.
It's got to be a young guy. I
guess. Probably newish, youngish. Jesse Chavez is number 3.
Oh wow!
Fastest? That's 13.7. So
that dude's been around all that time, and he's still like
he's like, guys, new rule. Don't care. I'm good.
He's like
below 15 runner on, runner off. He's 13.7.
That's crazy. I don't know.
Is it Sam Long with the Giants?
I don't even know.
And Brent Suter.
I know the name, but I don't really know him that well.
Interesting.
That is interesting. All right. Well, I pretty much went over everything I had written down. Was there something else you guys wanted to touch on? I know we talked about postseason lineups.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Should we touch on that a bit? I mean, I know we got a ways to go, but we've already been an hour and 45
We're going to the postseason.
I don't know if anyone's even watching. It's just us.
I gotta go help clean up a puddle of milk in a minute. My daughter figured out how to get the top off.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I think we talked about first off, you have to move Harris up at some point. And you gotta move Olsen down.
I don't know how much say Anthopoulos has, right? Like, how can
when it becomes October,
how much nudging he has of like, why don't we move Olsen down, or why don't we try Harris in the 3-hole, or the numbers say Riley's like. I just like the analytics are all there, and don't we have like a good analytics department? I don't know why somebody's not being like, hey, don't you notice this is actually something we should do? Is it really just Snip being stubborn and like having faith in his guys that like it's
I mean,
moving Olsen down isn't because you're going to help him. It's to just kind of like it's not as big of a spot right now while he figures out what's going on. Like that's it's not like he's going to magically hit again in the 7th hole.
Pressure off.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It really might be Snit being like, okay, well, it's my lineup, so I'm still going to do it this way.
Do you think it's at all some kind of anti-analytics stance or some kind of thing of Snit saying that that like lineup splits don't matter? Or anything like
possibly.
That?
I don't know.
Possibly.
He seems like he's open to some of that stuff. I don't know.
And he's got to be aware of the splits. They're so night and day that he can't with the analytics department we have, he can't possibly not be aware of how much better of a hitter.
That exactly.
Yeah, it's like we all talk about it on Twitter all the time. Right. I mean, we tweet it to the @Braves account. I mean, if if the guy who runs the social media account's not going to make the change, who else is?
3:00 in the morning, their phones going off, and they're like,
"Move Riley down to the 4-hole."
Splits in the 4-hole. Why do I fucking care about this shit right now?
Riley's still in the 3-hole. I'm gonna kill myself. Tweets like that.
Every day they're like, they give them the lineup, and they're like, they look at it, they're like, "This is the day," and they're like, "Son of a bitch."
I for like a week now, I've been waiting when we get that lineup. I'm like, oh, maybe did it, and like, nope. Riley 3, Olsen 4. I'm like, really? Are we keeping with this? And I have people arguing with me. There's a select few that just, I think, like to argue with me. But like, we don't do anything drastic or overreact by switching up the lineup. I'm like, it's been 3 weeks. An 0 for 4 day and then moving him down, that's a drastic and overreaction. This isn't an overreaction to have a 4 for 65 stretch and then move him down in the lineup.
Right. Switching up the lineup isn't really all that drastic anyway. I mean, it's at worst it's one game.
Yeah.
And some teams roll out a rearranged lineup pretty much every day. Right. That's what the Yankees do. It also drives me crazy when the Yankees do it, but it's it's not like you're telling a hitter that he's no longer a good hitter.
That's the one thing that I do get annoyed about with the Braves lineup. It's like when you send the same lineup out there every single day, it gets stale.
Mm-hmm.
It gets like
just switch it up. Like
hitters fall into this if I'm not in this spot, I can't hit.
Yeah.
And that is annoying. And I mean, I would love to see Austin Riley just start crushing homers again out of the 3-hole. He's been there for 2 months and he hasn't been doing it.
And I also see people argue that like, oh, he signed that contract and now he stopped hitting. And it's like,
that's stupid.
He signed the contract, hit in the 4-hole for about another week, and then has been 3 since then. There is not enough evidence to tell you whether it's the 4-hole or the contract. Like, it's not like he signed the contract, has been in the 4-hole for 6 weeks and just stopped hitting.
It's not the
to me, it's too much of a coincidence. I'm not going to be like, oh, it's because he signed the contract. This doesn't make any sense. He was on fire in July, and then for some reason they decided to make that change, and they haven't moved it back.
Michael Harris signed a contract too, though.
Yes, so didn't he? Yes.
And he is probably going to win
better
NL Player
since
of
he
the Month.
signed that fucking contract. He's been so fucking good.
I mean, there's a legitimate case that he's been the best player in the NL, like in the last month, and I think he's going to win Player of the Month. I saw stats.
Yeah, he's won Rookie of the Month twice, right? He hasn't won Player.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's going to go for Player of the Month.
This is insane, right? Michael Harris has won Rookie of the Month twice.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
And Spencer won it once.
Yeah.
Which means 3 of what? 4 months? 7?
Yeah.
But Braves.
He's won it twice, right?
5.
But who's your Rookie of the Year?
Probably Spencer Strider.
It's got to be Spencer Strider, right?
Like, I go back and forth.
Set the record for the fastest
it's the records to me. It's the records to me.
And the other thing is, Strider's in the Cy Young conversation, or he should be. I don't think Harris is an MVP conversation.
Dude, Harris
should be in the MVP. Do you not look at how this team did since June 1st?
If you want to talk about actual player value, more than just WAR, like if you want to take the actual value to their team approach, Harris should be up there.
Yeah. He's probably the MVP of the Braves overall in the year.
Oh, yeah.
He's
for sure.
He's all the moral support that we got from Guillermo Heredia, except he can actually hit. I mean, I love Guillermo. He's one of my all-time favorite Braves, but he's not the best bat in the lineup.
No.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, Harris is doing it all. I mean, he's doing things that, like, I think it was you who said this, Jordan, like a rookie shouldn't have a 900 OPS.
No, they should.
Like, he's unbelievable.
And his OPS has dropped below that since then, but it's like 893.
Yeah.
He's like, that's still.
I don't want him. Get him off the team.
It's so funny because I said, like, rookies shouldn't do this. And, like, 4 different people, I shit you not, were like, Aaron Judge did it. And then they were
Acuna Jr. did it. Yes, like, these are generational talents.
Mike
people.
Juan Soto, and I was like, "Are you fucking listening to yourself?"
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the point.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like
that's the point.
You're putting this guy in that conversation with the Aaron Judges, with the Mike Trouts, with like I can't even think of a center fielder that I've seen with the skill set that he possesses.
Yeah.
Buxton has had stretches like this, but he's a part-time player. I saw someone say today, Buxton has a 4 WAR in 92 games. He's the best part-time player in MLB history.
Yeah, I saw that.
Too.
I mean, that's sad, man, that he just can't.
Really.
But it's so crazy that he's that good.
Yeah.
Like when he's on the field, he is that good. But
remember that stretch like in June where he just hit a home run every day.
Yeah,
Buxton.
I had him on my fantasy. I think I actually still have him on my fantasy team in the IL
that's
spot,
a crazy good player. I want to see him be healthy, man.
Yeah,
like,
but Harris is better. Potentially,
Harris is better. Like, we always knew that Harris would hit, right? Like, I think we all knew that. Somebody told me, like, you don't know that he's gonna hit.
They wouldn't have called him up if they didn't know.
Because they said he only had 70 plate appearances at the time. Well, now he's got like 400, and he's even better than he was. So he's gonna hit. But the defense has surprised me. Like I knew he was good defensively. I didn't know
he makes
he
it
was
look
like
easy.
Elite defensively. Yeah, it's crazy how good that kid is.
Yeah, no player should have gotten a glove on that home run.
No.
No. Well, I know we talked about this earlier, but nobody's supposed to catch that. Nobody's even supposed to touch it.
No, dude, even if he doesn't even try, like nobody says a word about it.
The fact he got a glove on it is like, what? And that's
like,
what leads people to be like, I can't believe he didn't catch that.
Shut up.
It's
The
like,
only reason
really?
you can't believe he didn't catch that is because it nicked off of his glove.
Yeah.
Because he got to it. He did more than 95% of center fielders do.
Yeah, if you didn't see the effort he put forth, you would not even think about him trying to catch that.
And that's
ball.
just an example of like that, like the good defenders make the hard plays look routine. You know, like we'll see Austin Riley make a play and we're like, wow, what a play. And it's like, well, Arenado probably doesn't have to dive. Or, you know, an example like
that play that Arenado made the other day?
Oh, man.
Oh, that he threw home? The one he threw home?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I hate that I'm like liking what the Cardinals are doing. Because I hate the Cardinals, but I'm like,
I hate the Cardinals,
they're so likable right now with Goldshade and Pujols.
Yeah.
It's hard to hate them right now.
Pujols hasn't homered in like 3 days. That's not fair.
I know. He only needs 2.
He needs 2. He's got like 16 games. Something like that.
And that what I think is cool, they're actually today he was batting 3rd. I'm like, I actually like that for the fans. They're like, he's gonna bat in the 1st inning.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, if I'm the Cardinals, as soon as I clinch the postseason, I swear to God, I bat him lead off every fucking game. Every fucking game. At least until
I'm just like that place is packed because imagine like you're there for that 700. What if you
it is a
that
cash cow, bro. They are just like raking in money right now because they're like,
everyone wants to be there.
Come watch Pujols chase 700.
Even when the Cardinals go, you know, to Pittsburgh and Cincinnati or whatever it is they have left, like they're gonna fill the stadium in. Like people want to be there. Like you don't want an empty Pittsburgh outfield when that home run. You know, lands there and nobody's there.
Yeah, people are gonna go. People are gonna. Dude, I guarantee if he goes to Pittsburgh
at like $6.99,
I guarantee it sells out.
Yeah, and if the outfield's empty, nobody's gonna be able to stop Zach Hampel from grabbing it, and that's the worst thing I can imagine.
Fuck that guy.
Steve Gelbs. Did you see the clip of him when he was out in the outfield there in Pittsburgh?
No.
He got a foul ball, and then the fans were trying to get it from him.
He
interviewed this one fan who was like, "Atlanta never loses," and then Steve was like, "Atlanta never loses. That is true." Atlanta never loses.
Yeah, it was that. What was his name? His name was like Dave or something like that. He's like, "What's your name?" He's like,
Joe. One of those basic.
It was like one of those basic names. It was so funny though. And Gelb's like, "No, I caught this ball. It's mine." Like he's got all these kids around him, and he's like, "No, back the fuck off.
Yeah.
Leave me alone."
That's what happens when nobody's out here.
He did end up getting to a kid later, but it was still funny as hell.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, before we hop off of here, though, I haven't even talked to Colleen about this, Michael. So a couple weeks from now is the Mets series, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason I haven't talked to you about it is because I don't know if you're going to be available.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to do like a special show. Like, I mean, one where we watch the whole game like we did with that one Sunday night game because it's going to be a Sunday night game again. And
Sunday, October 2nd.
So we're working on, I'm not going to put out any names, but we're working on, welcome Trent. We're getting ready to get off of here. Here's Trent.
Hey, Trent. We're basically done.
That's okay.
The only comment over 2 hours is Trent going, hello.
It's Trent going, hello, right before we get off of here. Yeah. Lame.
Good to have you, Trent.
So anyways.
Nice having you back, Trent.
We're going to try to get some special guests to come on.
Some guests.
We believe we've already got one.
Some dudes.
Yeah, we've already got one who's fuck yeah, I'll do it. But, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I hit up a couple others. I never heard anything back, of course. So, but I'm going to see what I can do. But we're going to try to do it like I'm going to try to get some Mets personalities. Try to get some Braves personalities because it might be the game of the year.
Yeah.
That's why. And I have a JetBlue credit that I have to use I have to book a flight by the end of this month.
Go.
So, I have nowhere else to go, nobody to go with. So I'm like, I might as well just use it. Of course, I'm still going to have to pay like $200 more because flights are expensive now.
Well, lodging and stuff, but who gives a shit?
That's why it's like, I have a $200 credit, and then I end up spending, $1,500 after all said and done.
It's worth it. If I had the money, I'd be there.
Yeah. So that's kind of why I'm like, But I just want to make sure people are going to be there because I don't want to go and then I'm just kind of by myself. I know Jamie will be there. It's like just people that I can meet up with. But yeah,
look,
I'm sure people
Trent
are going to
said he's going to be there Sunday night.
Nice. The Saturday is really expensive when I looked at like what the ticket prices were. Friday and Sunday were more reasonable, so I probably would like
standing room.
Yeah.
Really?
There's like literally on the Braves website, they're completely sold out. So you have to go to the secondhand.
Oh yeah.
The SeatGeek, StubHub, TickPick type of thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there's some price gouging going on in those places.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I know
it's possible that one of those two teams clinches the division in that Sunday night game. I mean, it's not 100. There's not 100%, but if
but there's like a 75% chance.
Yeah. We've been on the gas for the past 3 games, other than the terrible series we had. But and the Mets have too. But if either of us falters, that game could be a division clincher.
It's so crazy because we both faltered like for the same number of games, and then we both started playing well again. It's like nobody will just run away with this thing.
Well, when I thought the Mets might lose to the Pirates today, I was like, dude, how crazy is it that the Mets are going to take 3 out of 4 against the Pirates? And possibly lose the division lead. Yeah, like I was like, that's fucking crazy. Yeah. That's how good this division is, or these two teams at least.
Yeah.
I think we kind of exposed the Phillies this week.
We did, yeah.
Now I think so. I mean,
Zach Wheeler wasn't there, but we did have to face Nola, so.
And it's not like we exactly lit any of the starters up. Like Nola, actually, we did the best against. Like Ranger Suarez, we couldn't solve. The guy today, we didn't really do much against him. So it's not like we lit up every starter and like, oh, if we faced Wheeler,
Oh, my God. No.
Frank the Tank.
All right.
Trent, if you know anyone else with an extra ticket, I might ask on Twitter, but if you know anyone with an extra ticket
And I don't know if we can work this out, but if you're at the game, if you do go to the game, I don't know if you can do it from your phone, but if you want to like pop in for a little while and just like fuck around, talk, like whatever. More than welcome.
Ooh, I'm looking at Dallas tried to hit up. Dallas wins it with a last-second field goal. Bengals lose.
Again.
Wow. 0-2.
Ooh. Yeah, I can you have to decide what I want to do for that. I mean, the thing is I have the flight, so
Trash is up what Trent said.
Trent's gonna commit murder for you, Colleen.
No, that comment hasn't popped up yet. I don't see it.
So, thanks for that last minute of entertainment, Trent.
Yeah, thanks.
Didn't get a single comment the whole time we were doing this, and then Trent
we're about to go. And then Trent's like, hey.
I just wanted to put that out there.
The whole thing.
That we're planning on having a pretty fun show 2 weeks from today. It's going to be Michael's going to be on again. Obviously. So this is something Michael and I have already talked about. I didn't discuss it with you just because I don't know where you're going to be. And I don't want to discourage you from going to that game because if you can go, you should fucking go. That would be awesome. I'd be stoked for you. So
yeah, I don't know if I'm like, I'm just even watching at home, I would like not be able to take it, but I feel like it would be
dude,
when you're with a bunch of Braves fans and everyone's kind of in the same, I feel like it'd be pretty awesome.
Like if we win,
it's just like I think I'm like it's awesome if like the Braves sweep or something awesome like that. But like Mets sweep us, I'm just like, why the fuck did I waste my time coming down? Like that's the risk that you take.
There's no way.
No, there's no way.
Neither team's getting swept.
No, I know. It's like by now I should have more faith, but I still have moments I'm like, oh, I bet you they, I just.
Oh, yeah. I know. I mean, shit. In the postseason,
I try to keep having hope, and then things
every
happen.
game in the postseason last year, I thought. This is it. So
this is the game we lose.
Dude, I was on the way to work.
Never faced elimination.
Before game 6, I was on my way to work. I started crying.
Oh, man.
Before NLCS game 6?
World Series game 6.
World Series game 6.
I was so anxious that day. And I remember just driving to work and I like started like tearing up and I was like, Max, like I just started like in my head, I was like, we need this one, buddy. Like, just go get this.
I'm trying to remember because it was a Tuesday, so I guess I would have been working, but I don't remember. Yeah,
it was a rough one. That's all I remember. So, all right, well, so hopefully in the next coming days we'll have a little bit more information on exactly who we're gonna have on the show and like how we're gonna do it. But I just wanted to put it out there so anybody who's watching, the 4 people who are watching right now,
Two
you
of them
should
are me
swing
and
by. We're going to try to promote that show pretty hard. It'd be pretty dope to have, a good amount of people just like, hanging out, watching a game together. That's And that's another, that's the thing is like, if there's somebody that just wants to pop in, like one of our buddies or whatever, like let me know. Like we'll pop people in and out throughout the game for 10, 15 minutes if y'all want to talk, whatever. So
with some of the people we're looking at, the banter is going to be absolutely next level.
Did we lose Michael? You went in and out.
All right. Well, so I'm gonna.
Okay.
I need to get off.
I didn't hear what you said, Michael. You were going.
Okay. I was just say the banter is going to be absolutely next level.
Oh, it's going to be
with who we got. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I guess we will see you guys in a couple weeks. Like I said, stay tuned. We'll have more to come on what we're going to be doing that night. So, but thanks for watching. You guys have a good one.
Thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.